I've been living in the UK for over a decade now, and afternoon tea has to be one of my favorite British pastimes. I've had classic cream teas, really fancy high-end cream teas, basic cream teas, and even themed mysterious cream teas. Today, I'll show you how to make 4 classically British afternoon tea sandwiches. Let's start by making our fillings. This is Coronation chicken. Finely shred 500 grams around 2 chicken breasts that have already been cooked. I'm using the breasts off a rotisserie chicken, but you can cook yours however you like. Because these sandwiches are dainty, you want to shred it as finely as possible. Go through and make sure you don't have any large lumps of chicken, like this one.
Add in 170 grams, 3/4 cups of mayonnaise,
70 grams, 4 tablespoons of mango chutney. And if, like me, the only mango chutney you could find was a chunky one, make sure to put it through a food processor first. You want it to be nice and smooth, or mostly smooth, because you want the sandwich to remain dainty. 16 grams, 2 tablespoons of a mild curry powder, and half a teaspoon, 1 to 2 grams of cinnamon. Now give that a good stir. Make sure you're coating all of the chicken. Give it a little taste, and then add in a bit of salt if you think it needs it. I've added in about a teaspoon or so. You're looking for a fairly thick consistency, but you don't want it to be too dry. So if you feel like it is, add in a little bit more mayonnaise. On the flip side, you don't want it too wet, so don't add too much. You can make this filling up to 2 days in advance, and actually by letting it sit, all of those flavors really come together. So cover it up and pop it in the fridge. Now let's make our egg and cress filling. I've boiled 4 eggs for about 8 minutes until the yolk is cooked through. And then I really like to separate the yolk and the white when I'm making an egg salad sandwich. The yolk breaks down much easier than the whites, and so you sometimes get large bits of white in your egg salad sandwich, and we want this to be nice and dainty. I just like to cut around the egg, peel it open, and pop out the yolk. Now give your egg whites a good smash until they're nice and fine. Now add in your egg yolks. Give them a little mash. Gosh, these eggs are gorgeous today. Then add in 4 tablespoons, 60 grams of mayonnaise, 2 teaspoons, 8 grams of mustard. I'm using Dijon, but use what you prefer. And a good teaspoon or 2 of salt. Let's mix it up. Give it a taste for seasoning. I'm not adding any pepper to my egg filling because the cress already has a peppery flavor. But if you're not adding the cress, you could add a little bit in.
cover that up and pop it in the fridge.
Now I'll show you how to mix up the cream cheese for 2 more of our sandwiches, salmon and cream cheese and cucumber and cream cheese. To your bowl, add 8 tablespoons, 120 grams of cream cheese, and you want this to be fairly soft so it's spreadable. And then snip in about 2 teaspoons, 2 or so grams of chives. This is really however much you want, to be fair. I like to do them nice and fine so that you don't have big bits of chives. I find the easiest way to chop chives is just with some kitchen scissors. You can use something other than chives, but stick with a fresh fine herb, something like dill, and then add in the zest of a lemon. My lemon is absolutely massive, but I am going to add in all of the zest. This is personal preference, and you can add in more or less as you like. It just brings a zinginess to the sandwiches. Now mix that together. If you do want to make this in advance, pop it in the fridge, but make sure you take it out about 30 minutes in advance of kneading it so that it's nice and soft. Let's assemble the sandwiches. I've popped a wet paper towel under my cutting board so that it doesn't move around. You want your butter to be nice and soft, so make sure you take it out at least the night before and spread it right to the edges of your bread, both sides. And when I say both sides, I mean the inner sides of the sandwich. The Brits like to butter both sides of the inside of their sandwich because it stops the sandwich from getting soggy when you add the filling. You don't want to overfill your sandwiches, so start with less and add more if you need it. But don't make it too thin a layer. You want to be able to see the filling when we cut them open. Then pop the buttered side down over top of your filling and just give it a gentle press. And you can fill your sandwiches 1 to 2 hours before you plan to serve them, but leave the crusts on for now. These are going in the refrigerator. Don't cut off the crusts of your sandwich until you're ready to serve them. There's nothing worse than having an afternoon tea and biting in and having crunchy, dry edges on your sandwiches. I've had a few like that. And as with the Coronation chicken, I'm going to butter my egg salad breads as well. Spread your filling all the way to the edges. Sprinkle the top with some cress. If you can't find cress, you can substitute it with any microgreen or even a finely chopped arugula for that pepperiness. And then pop on the top.
And then wrap them up.
A great little trick when you have a soft filling like egg salad is to pop your sandwiches between 2 cutting boards. Not a super heavy one, just a little bit light, but it just helps to compress everything down a little bit so that when you cut into it, the filling doesn't pour out. Now pop this in the fridge. This is especially important for a wet mixture like the egg and cress.
When it comes to a cucumber, you don't want a lot of skin, so peel off the top section. Then using your vegetable peeler, peel very thin slices of the cucumber. This leaves just enough skin on the edges. Continue peeling your cucumber until you can just see the seeds. You don't want the seeds in your sandwich because they can make it bitter and watery. Flip the cucumber over and repeat the process by removing that top strip of the skin and then peeling thin slices of the cucumber down to the seed.
I'm going to slice my cucumbers in half so they fit nicely on my bread. Add a little bit of your cream cheese to each slice of your bread, making sure not to use it all. We need some for the salmon as well. And the cream cheese acts as the butter in this case. Now spread that out to the edges. Now layer your slices of cucumber along your bread. You can overlap them slightly, and I'm going to do a few layers so you get a good bit of cucumber in each bite. Just a nice amount, so 2 nice thin layers of cucumber. And cucumbers always need a little pinch of salt, so just a nice pinch over the top. The nice thing about the cucumber sandwiches is you can prepare them just before and they don't need to be refrigerated, but you can absolutely make them in advance up to 2 hours. You can use any type of bread you like, but most afternoon teas come on standard white bread. If you go to a really nice one, sometimes you'll get some really fancy breads. My favorite was a tomato and coriander bread. I'm using a whole wheat and rye bread for my salmon, and I've toasted them because I want to make little finger sandwiches open-faced with these. So I'm going to cut out some little circles from my toasted bread. This is completely optional, but it just looks so pretty. You can just do them on a piece of bread just like we have the other sandwiches. And these will get turned into breadcrumbs later. This is also a bit extra, and you can just cut up some pieces of salmon, but I'm going to cut mine into the rounds that I did for the toast. Then just spread a little bit of cream cheese on top of each toast. You don't want too much, but you want enough that you can see it on the edge of the sandwich. Place one of your little salmon discs on top of each one. And I'm just going to dress them up a little bit. A little crisscross of chives on the top of each one. And I'm going to be a little bit more extra and add a little bit of salmon roe on the top of each one. They almost look too pretty to eat. To finish them off, I'm just going to squeeze a tiny bit of lemon juice on each one, just to brighten up those flavors, because smoked salmon can be quite rich. I'm not quite ready to enjoy mine, so I'm going to pop them in the refrigerator for a few hours while the rest of my sandwiches chill.
With a sharp serrated knife, remove the crust from each of your sandwiches and carefully cut them into your favorite shapes. I like my cucumber sandwiches as fingers, my Coronation chicken as triangles, and my egg and cress sandwiches in little squares. Place your afternoon tea sandwiches on a platter and you're ready to enjoy.
Most afternoon teas will serve at least 3 to 4 different flavors of sandwich, but make as many or as few as you like. I've doubled my Coronation chicken recipe because it is beloved in my household. But if you're only making this for 2 people, you'll want to cut this recipe down into 1/4. The rest of the recipes are for 4 people, serving 2 finger sandwiches of each flavor each. And no afternoon tea is complete without my scones. And if you're looking for another classic British sandwich, my favorite is this cheese and onion. Thank you so much for watching. Please like the video, and leave me a comment down below. What's your favorite sandwich filling? See you next time.